Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, and having finally returned to terra firma, we're still a little perplexed by Spitbank Fort's contrasting moods. Yes, it does appear a little unsightly, an emotion that hardly changes once you step inside. But if you can cast aside the psychology offered by its open and empty floors, then a tangible impression of its previously regimented role can be attained. And with just the one recorded ghost, we were offered a glimpse at the phenomena that others have previously seen and heard here. The heavy moans, groans and poltergeist activity that we captured seem to show that Henry Atrial's mood typifies a man who lost his life in a sudden and shocking way, all of which supplied us with a series of events that require further scrutiny.
Terrible. Oh!
A number of unusual things did happen as part of the investigation. Firstly, I was quite surprised by the fact that David seemed to come out with information which was actually quite specific. He came out with names and dates, which is unlike David, actually. He doesn't usually get that very specific information. So that's kind of unusual in that respect. And again, the sceptical explanation could be that can we be sure that there's no normal way in which you could have got information about that location? If we really can rule that out, then that could be quite strong evidence of some kind of genuine mediumistic ability. Quite separate events included some of the noises, bangs, as though objects were moving around on their own, of course, and if that was genuine, that would be described as poltergeist phenomena.
I don't know, just... terrible.
But again, I don't think we can confidently rule out some of the normal explanations. It's a very, very old building, so bits of the building, bits of the ceiling are going to fall down on their own, and at that time in the morning, we're going to maybe think, or some members of the crew may think it's ghosts. Particularly impressed by myself was the experiences that I had with Ian and with Gordon.
Yeah, how can we get a wee thing? How can we get to this? Go to the very end of this. Don't go out like this. The door, is that right? What was that? What was that? How was that?
We heard some very unusual sounds, which again, it weren't easy to explain, but also we found ourselves quite disorientated much of the time. You weren't always quite sure where you were, so you were walking one direction, and there were noises behind, turn around, and noise in different directions. So again, it's not easy to know exactly what was causing those bangs.
What was that?
During one part of the investigation, pretty much all members of the crew were in one of the kind of cellar areas, and we did a fairly long séance. What I like is the fact that the group is very keen to try these different types of experiments, and one thing is very important is when they're doing it, is not to analyse it too much, because there's obviously time after, like now, to analyse, think back, and try and think of normal explanations.
Spitbank Fort may have been built to protect the innocent, but it's the burden of a tragic loss that still hangs heavy in its air. And should you choose to visit here, make sure you escape before the lights go out. Sleep tight.